So for today, I am acting as the operator of the trailer. So everything I'll discuss is going to be the operator's primary responsibilities, whether it's for setup, operation, cleanup, whatever the case might be. The stuff that I'm going to go over is what the operator is going to be responsible for during a bottling or labeling project. So at this point, before we back the trailer up, we always level the trailer back down when we leave, just for stability purposes. And before we ever back the trailer up, inside this panel here, we have our hydraulic module here, and this is where we raise and lower the front and rear legs. So we'll want to raise this up. And this will bring the front end of the trailer up so we can scoop the bed of the truck underneath here. The attachment point should be good. We'll leave this open because we'll have to come back to that. So I'll go ahead and back the truck up here. Alright, at this point I'll come back in here to the control module and I'll go ahead and drop the front of the trailer back down. Dropping the rear legs down here so all the weight's not pushing on the bed of the truck.
Can you describe all of those buttons a little bit more clearly?
Yeah, so the top here are the front legs, and the rear, obviously the rear legs. The top arrow brings the legs up, down arrow brings them down. And I'm just bringing them all up. Try to bring them all up in unison at this point. Peek around the back, see where they're at behind the rear wheel there. A little longer to go. Go ahead and close up the panel. And I always lock this before I do anything else with the chains, just so I know that that ball is locked in here. And then really just climb back up here on the bed. We've got 2 chains and a safety hook that we'll hook up. There's a retractable U-bolt in here. Do that to both sides. And our safety. And our trailer power cord. And the outlet inlet for that is right here. And at that point, everything's hooked up and ready to go. Before we move, I'm just going to take a look at the trailer, make sure everything is secured for the most part, and we'll just kind of lay eyes on that. Things like this. machine. Usually set anything loose like this, we'll set on the floor. Hard cases can slide. Other than that, everything is typically good here. Pretty much just make sure the cabinet's locked. There isn't anything valuable sitting up here that can slide around. That's good to go. Close her up. Get the truck turned on, and then we'll just make sure all of our lights are working. So at this point, I'll turn it from auto to lights on, and I'll just take a peek and make sure all of our running board lights are working, all of our top running lights are working. And we're ready to move. Once we get our truck turned on, make sure the truck knows we've got a trailer on the back here. We'll hit the tow haul button. Make sure it pops up on the screen. And we're all set. And with all the machinery in the back of the trailer, it's got quite a bit of weight to it. You want to make sure you're extra cautious on turns and going downhill. At this point, once you're backed into the designated spot that the client gives you, we're going to go ahead and pretty much just reverse the process of hooking up. First thing I always do, just for peace of mind, go ahead and undo that lock here so the ball is free, and I'll just kind of release everything that I can reach. Open our panel back up. And I'll get the legs brought down to the ground just to where they touch enough to get some weight taken off of the bed of the truck before I unhook it. So come in here, hit our power button, and I'll go ahead and I'll drop both legs, front and rear, at the same time. Back legs take a little longer than the front to get to the ground. So this location here, we've got a grade, kind of graded, sloping away from the back of the trailer towards the front. So as long as you put your front legs down, that should be good enough, even if the back legs aren't touching, to go ahead and disconnect everything here and remove the truck. So I'd already taken the power cord out. At this point, I'll go ahead and undo the safety clip. Hook everything back out. That's kind of what these are designed for, just so they're out of the way, don't catch them or snag them on anything. Already unlocked this. Go ahead and drop those legs some more. Really all you want to do is just get it high enough to clear the back corner of this bed. It doesn't have to be anything wild or crazy. And then once those legs are down, we can pull the truck away and we're free and clear. Before we go and do anything inside, I'll go ahead and I'll finish bringing those rear legs down. And you can usually tell as the front of the trailer will start to dip. You can usually tell when you make contact with the ground. You can hear it creak a little bit. And you can notice the change in the pitch of the sound. And it never hurts to take another peek at the back legs to make sure they're down. Obviously the wheels are off the ground, so we've made contact. You don't have to come up that high. I'll probably bring it down a little bit. It is entirely personal preference. So at this point, we'll go ahead and we'll start unloading the trailer. We'll pull power cords, hoses, pump, everything that comes out of the trailer to hook us up to wind in the cellar. Go ahead and close this back up. We'll open this one up. And this is going to be our power inlet for the trailer. And this will be our attachment point for our power cord. So before we start running our wind, we'll want to make sure our trailer's level. So what we'll do is we'll lay a level down here on the door sill and make sure it's level. Obviously it looks like the front needs to come up a little bit. typically just a small adjustment. So I bring the legs down, which brings the front of the trailer. You can run a kind of a left to right leveling issue too, where you may be on a gravel surface or a dirt surface. You may have little divots and bumps and low spots where the trailer may not sit level in any way, shape, or form. At that point, you've got your left and right. You can isolate those sides. Obviously, you push the left side, it's going to bring the left side of the trailer up. Right side only. Alright, so at this point I'm going to be number one inside the trailer. So my job is going to be to get the steam going, get power hooked up, everything turned on inside the trailer, while typically the assistant or second person that's going to be operating is working on getting everything hooked up in this cellar. So at this point what I would do is come around here and we store all of our utilities back here in the back of the trailer. And this would be for my position, going to be the power cord and our water hose. So first thing I'll do is we want to try and get this up and running as quickly as possible. I'll get the power cord dragged out and hooked up to the cellar. I'm just going to head right down to this corner here. And if you notice, the way the cord was wrapped up is in a figure eight. Just the easiest way to stow it as well as pull it out of the trailer. There's this nipple here, just fits into this groove on the bottom there. Head back up and grab the rest of this cable. Run it to the front of the trailer. And for our cord, for this, we know the side that connects to the trailer always has this cap on it. And same concept. The receiver's got the nipple on it. So line it up with then you're attached, fast and good to go. So before I do anything else at this point, I'll come inside the trailer. Flip our light switch on. And this is our three-phase converter. Nothing else can be turned on until this is turned on. Otherwise fuses blow and it causes problems with the machines. As long as it's not clicking or making any crazy weird noises, you know you're good to go. This is our air compressor. We need air to run anything in this trailer. Green light, good to go. And because this is all food grade material product, we need to have an air dryer to dry the air that comes through. And the plug for that is for this machine, just on the other side of the compressor there. Go ahead and plug that in. And you can see the digital screen there. As long as it lights up, you're good to go. Alright, so at this point we'll swing back to the back of the trailer, grab our water hose. And same concept as the power cord, if you can tell, kind of the figure eight wrap there. Just makes it easy to unload and load it back up. And we'll drag it to the cellar. Hook it up to the water supply. So we're hooked up to our water supply coming from the cellar. So we'll follow our line back up here. Run this to if you're looking at the back of the trailer, it'll be on the left-hand side, is where all of our wine, water, everything enters into the trailer. Oh, that's going to enter right through this little door here. This is our manifold here. To the left here is where we're going to hook up. This goes to our steamer. Before we let any wine or anything else into the trailer, we need to sanitize. So we're going to run this and connect it to our steamer. So sliding it on and pulling this lever shut. Attached. And since we got this door open and we're on our left side, we want to make sure our door here, this is for our exhaust vent, compressor inside. That just keeps things from overheating, so we'll make sure that door's open before we start anything. So we just hooked our water up here. This is our steamer hose. We'll hang this on the conveyor inside, just so we know where it's at. And that'll get connected to the steamer as well, just like the water hose. Water hose is hooked up low, the steamer hose gets hooked up high. This end of the steamer hose will hook to this part of the manifold. And then the male end of the steamer hose will get hooked to the steamer. So what I'll do typically is just fold it in half, just kind of set it in there so I can reach it from the inside. Just kind of pitch it between the door here. Leave it. Climb up into the trailer. So, just kind of reverse of the water supply line on the steamer. We have the same clamp that's on the hose. Simple as insert and pinch both levers shut, and you're secure to the steamer. So then we'll head back outside and we'll clamp the other end to the intake manifold. At this point, running from our steamer to our manifold, using a gasket and a clamp. Fits into the groove there. Fold it over. Sometimes you have to loosen these up to get them to fit, like so. Tighten it back up. Doesn't have to be crazy tight, just until you get a good seal. Like so. And so at this point our water supply is hooked up to the steamer. In our steamer we have our line running from the unit to our intake manifold for fluids. So at this point we're ready to get our steamer turned on. So this is our power switch for our steamer. As simple as just clicking it to the on position and it'll start warming up. So at this point we'll go back inside, turn our water supply on. Turning that on now gives the steamer a chance to start heating up, so the water's not sitting in there idle. So as soon as water hits that, it has a chance to start steaming. We can start setting it through the system to start steam cleaning everything. One thing we've been doing, we used to use cold water, and it seemed to take a lot longer to heat up to get the steam treatment flowing through the unit. So we start using hot water. So now we just send hot water straight into the unit. So now we're turned on, water should be traveling to the trailer, into the steamer, where the steamer will start to convert that water into steam and start pushing it through the system. So what we'll do now is we'll go back in and make sure all of our valves are open correctly, so that nothing's blocked and steam can flow freely through the filters, through the housings, and into the bowl. So, this is kind of where all the magic happens here. These are our filter housings. We want to make sure that these get cleaned as well as everything else on board here. So we'll want to turn the valves to divert the steam through the pre-filter, through the back of the manifold and into this filter housing, and up the pipe to the bowl. So we'll want to turn both of these. This is our main intake valve here. We'll make sure that's over too.